Please sit at a safe distance from your television, and if your gameplay session takes longer than 20 minutes, please take breaks. I will be ignoring your health and safety warning, because this game is already hazardous enough. Welcome to the mouthful that is the Japanese title of Super Turbo. Super Street Fighter 2X Grandmaster Challenge for Matching Service for the Sega Dreamcast. For Matching Service was a network that Capcom introduced to their Dreamcast ports. These versions were only obtainable via mail order. And for matching service means you could connect to a network that would allow you to play against other players over the internet. And for 20 years ago, that was an idea ahead of its time. It is important to note that I am playing the Japanese version of Super Turbo, a version that actually understands difficulty levels, unlike the international version, where regardless of your difficulty settings, the AI behaved the exact same way. No less easier. But let's get this arcade mode underway. And the character I wanted to choose for this was a debate. I needed the best possible character I could for the hardest possible Street Fighter game. The ultimate weapon it is. So here's the thing about Akuma. He has the rare distinction of being a tournament-banned character. And I can't possibly imagine why.
You win! Perfect!
With capabilities like air fireballs, it makes certain fights just unwinnable.
You win! Perfect!
So yeah, the Japanese version is slightly easier than the international arcade version, but I use the term
USSR.
slightly with a bit of hesitation.
Round one, fight!
And I'm using Akuma for this because it is easier to unlock him in the console version. In the arcade version, you had to do a code where you moved your cursor over to certain characters and sat there for a couple of seconds. Then wandered back to Ryu to complete the code where you select Ryu via a certain button combination. And as you see, if I get a single hit with Akuma, if I get an inch, you're damn right I'm taking a mile. It is the Akuma way.
You win!
Akuma is traditionally an all-in character. They give him more offensive tools, but to make up for this, he has the stamina of paper mache.
Round one,
Also, hello T-Hawk. You remain the worst fight in all of Street Fighter. I would sooner fight 8 M. Bisons in a row than run into you in an arcade mode session. I believe him to be my absolute kryptonite. He has not been in a fighting game ever since his inclusion in Super Street Fighter 4. And that's honestly for the best.
two, fight!
Just his overall range, the air condor dive going above fireballs to smack you on the head, he's not a good time. So let's dispose of him with
You
ease.
win!
with the power that Akuma grants us. So there are actually
Japan.
there is actually a major downside to playing Akuma.
Round 1.
You'll notice on the bottom left side of the screen, there's no meter there. But the opponent has a meter. A super meter, if you will. Akuma has no super in his original incarnation in Super Turbo. That cool Raging Demon thing you see him do, you don't get to do that.
You win. Round 2.
But considering all the other tools Akuma has at his disposal, I think that's a fair trade-off.
You win.
The only thing you have to keep in mind is how fragile Akuma is. The stubby Shoto normals he has
Brazil.
doesn't particularly help matters.
Round 1. Fight.
Alright. Blanca is also one of Akuma's issues. Akuma can deal with a character fine if they have little to no mobility. But Blanca is the textbook definition of mobility. His Blanca balls now move at hyperspeed. Which means you're gonna have a bit of a time. This is also the point where Super Turbo AI starts kicking in. So even with Akuma on your side, it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows. And if you do the code wrong, you just get normal Ryu. So here's our special guest of our Super Turbo run, Ryu. Oh my god!
Round 2. Fight.
Blanca has officially been training with Sonic the Hedgehog. I refuse to believe that there is any other reason.
You lose.
So yes, even with the power of Akuma, it's still not a guarantee.
Round 1.
As Blanca just goes over, under, above, and around your little obstacle course. This is the benefit of being a fast-moving character. Don't like it. Not a fan.
Round 2. Fight.
And despite the versatility of Air Fireball, its damage is ticklish at best. Fireballs are not the universal problem solver they were in the original Street Fighter 2, where 3 fireballs cause an instant dizzy, if they all connect. You will definitely find yourself fighting tooth and nail at times.
Round 3, fight!
As you can see, 3 attacks. 3 basic, normal attacks, and my health is just gone. And 1 failed Dragon Punch leads to a KO'd Akuma.
Brazil.
So your play must be absolutely on point. No substitutes will be acceptable. Because if you know anything about the actual intricacies of Super Turbo's AI, you know they have a plan for every situation. It's primitive, but that's its most dangerous. That's its most dangerous perk. Every reaction is built in. They have reactions for you throwing a fireball. They have reactions for you being at a certain distance. There is a blog out there called SF2 Platinum that tried to reverse engineer the original Street Fighter 2, and they managed to unlock the code containing the AI scripting. The author pulled out a basic script for if World Warrior Ryu throws 3 fireballs, and it knows that the opponent is dizzy, because that's what 3 fireballs did back in the day. It will walk forward a certain distance until it is close enough to the player that it can throw it. If the player is not stunned, it goes back to one of its many other scripts. And that's a whiff Dragon Punch, meets my die. Yeah, this isn't a fun time, even as Akuma.
You lose.
I think I have illustrated my point that nothing is a sure thing.
Brazil. Round 1, fight.
Trying to react to him. Like, you try to react to them like it's a human player, but on the contrary, the AI waits for you to react and does its actions accordingly. And also, no reaction is a reaction.
Win. Round 2, fight.
3 attacks, half health. I don't trust this game.
You lose.
I don't trust this game to play fair. And there's video evidence of it not playing fair.
You lose.
Like, I'll be the first to admit, the one game I dislike coming back to the least
Brazil.
is Super Turbo. It is heralded as a classic and an institution of fighting games. But those are people who didn't have to play against the CPU. Those are people that found experiences playing against other friends and playing against the best players in the world. The best players in the world are not the winners of international tournaments. They're right here. They are arcade mode CPU opponents. Like, I have absolutely no opportunity to set up.
You win. Round 3, fight.
God, here we go. Yep, one throw takes, what was that, 40%? One of the benefits of being Street Fighter II AI is they get to mash to their heart's content internally.
England. Round 1, fight.
And here's Cammy. The most ridiculous legs in Street Fighter history. If you could name me a game that isn't this,
You lose.
where Cammy isn't top tier, you're lying to yourself.
Round 2, fight.
She's always top tier, because the mechanics of Street Fighter benefit her. Long-reaching normals that confirm into damaging combos. She may not have things like a ground overhead. She don't need them.
You lose. Nine.
Now back to our regularly scheduled Akuma.
England. Round 1, fight.
As, once again, air fireballs, ticklish at best. One mistake.
You lose. Round 2, fight.
One mistake. Although in that case, that was many mistakes. But this is the stress that comes with playing Super Turbo.
9. England. Round 1, fight.
I believe the common defense of the higher difficulty of Super Turbo especially is that the game is teaching you the do's and don'ts. The game is teaching you what not to do
You lose.
and what your opponent can do in these situations.
Round 2.
They can just jump over fireballs. They can just anti-air you if you jump. They can just keep you out. They can just throw you if you're blocking too much. But seeing as the AI is capable of things that a human player is not, I disagree.
You lose. 9. England. Round
I unfortunately don't look upon this game as fondly as other people do. Controversial and yet justified nuclear opinion on this is that I feel that Super Turbo is looked upon with rose-tinted glasses.
You win.
Trying to get a new player into Super Turbo nowadays is a nightmare, especially if they've come from later Street Fighter games. Whereas Street Fighter 2 comes from a time before grace periods. And thus trying to do a Dragon Punch on command when you're used to more modern inputs can be a Herculean task. Oh my god. It's like, we don't want to die. We want our life bars to be infinite. And also, Air Tatsu is a recipe for death. Never use it under any circumstances.
Fight.
Like, playing this game against the computer basically locks you out of certain moves and strategies. And getting that one crucial hit you need against them is like pulling teeth.
You lose. 9. England.
Because then the game will just give up, read your inputs, and do the exact counter strategy. Lowering the difficulty does not help because it doesn't lower the algorithm. Oh, they're not dead. That means my death is inevitable.
You win. Round 2. Fight.
I would much rather keep you at bay. This is the matchup I trust more. Good, we've got that hurdle taken care of. Bring on the next mountain to climb.
USA. Round 1. Fight.
At least Ken's AI is fun to fight. It's fun watching it try to comprehend Akuma. Oh god, that was the chance. Fuck, that was the chance.
You lose. Round 2. Fight.
As you can see, Ken now throws in his specialized kicks into his offense. Which means if you're just crouch blocking, he's got a method. He has the cure for that. It's called overhead kick.
USA. Round 1, fight. Shoryuken, 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 Shoryuken.
It's just waiting for Ken to exhaust his dragon punches.
Hadouken. Shoryuken.
Also, throw attacking is a thing. You thought that you could do some damage with a normal throw? I've got news for you.
2, fight. Hadouken. Shoryuken. Hadouken.
I'll take it.
You win.
I think that could have actually been a double KO.
Jamaica.
EJ's not a horrible last opponent before the 4 kings. Once again, the game does not care for chip damage.
You lose. Get it.
Your chip damage feels like damage to a decimal
Round 2,
point,
fight.
rather than actual harm. Also, DJ can mash his machine gun punch, so that's nice.
You lose. 9. Jamaica. Round 1, fight.
Yep, he can mash his machine gun punch for more damage. Which is just bee's knees. Oh god.
You win.
Finally, the complete lack of chip damage actually plays in my favor.
2, fight.
Capcom, please. Please, do you understand the merits of charge time? So that I don't have to deal with 2 fireballs on the screen.
You lose. Hit it. Round 3, fight.
Nope.
You lose.
I guess the game didn't feel like losing that time.
9. Jamaica. Round 1. Fight.
And this is what happens when the game doesn't feel like losing. Perfect play, 100%, no mistakes.
You lose. Get it. Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, when I put together this list of playing old Capcom fighting games, Super Turbo was the one I dreaded the most. Because I knew I was going to run into this situation. I'm going to run into a ton of brick walls, I'm going to get very upset and very salty, and it's not going to be fun for anybody.
You win.
Because my stance on Super Turbo, wrong though it may be, is an honest one. Yep, that's 2 hits. Gotta back away. Never has the note button been activated with such aggressive fervor. Oh god, I'm done. Because he can fire fireballs at a ridiculous rate. Faster than you, in fact.
You win.
So he can throw out his slash move, recover in time to block your air fireball. I think
USA.
Akuma's brokenness might have been a little exaggerated.
Round 1. Fight.
That out. But what can't be exaggerated is how much Boxer still falls for fireballs.
You win.
He doesn't really have a good defense against it. I mean,
Round
he has Headbutt, but the AI doesn't like to use Headbutt.
You lose.
And this is what happens when you give Boxer any type of ground. By the way, if it hasn't been made apparent, yes, he has a different name in the Japanese version because they call the boxer Mike Bison, and it's awfully close to another boxer. Another famous heavyweight pugilist. So obviously the shuffle had to be done.
You win.
Thus, the Balrog you know across the pond is now M. Bison.
Spain.
As a result, your claw-wielding psychomaniac is Balrog. He still pokes you from a far distance. He's still a rough customer.
You lose. Round 2. Fight.
The game's moving too fast for me. I can't keep up.
You lose. Nine. Spain. Round one. Fight.
So Claw here can still lose his Claw, but it's through aggressive defense. Defense is not Claw's strong point. It doesn't like defense. It likes to jump around, it likes to swing its mighty hitboxes at you.
You win.
So you seeing his Claw come off
Round two.
against the arcade CPU is going to be a rarity. I have to throw him as quickly as possible, because you need to mash to get out of stun. You, the player, needs to mash to get out of
You
stun.
win.
All the CPU has to do to get out of stun is snap its fingers. I am aware that was a
Thailand.
clapping sound effect, but I wanted it to be audible. Never good at snapping my fingers.
Round one. Fight.
So yeah, Sagat, the man with the fireball, likes to do kicks a lot.
Tiger uppercut. Tiger uppercut. Tiger knee.
The one thing you're rarely gonna see him do
Tiger uppercut.
is use the thing that makes him Sagat.
Tiger. Tiger. Tiger
'Cause
uppercut.
against somebody like Akuma, there's really no point.
Round two. Fight. Tiger. 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 Tiger uppercut. Tiger uppercut. Tiger uppercut. Tiger.
Also, despite the red fireballs being multi-hit fireballs, they don't have the durability and will be canceled out by any other fireball, as is tradition.
You win. Round three. Fight. Tiger uppercut. Tiger. Tiger. Tiger knee. Tiger. Tiger. Tiger uppercut.
I tried to jump in. I thought he was doing a low.
Tiger knee.
I'll take that.
You win.
And thus we come to the final encounter. Not the M. Bison you know, but rather the vicious dictator, Vega.
One. Fight.
Now, if you want to talk mobility, Dictator's got it in spades. I'm sure you know how rough of a time this game can be if your reversals are not on point.
Round two. Fight.
Dictator will just stomp all over you.
You lose. Nine.
Just gotta keep my cool at this point. Because now we're staring at the end of the road.
Round 1, fight!
What I do know is that Dictator can't deal with fireballs all that well. The one and only reversal he has is Super. So when he tries to walk towards you, it doesn't end well.
Round 2.
I should know, I'm a Dictator main. And Shotos tend to be a bad time for Dictator. Because he just has no way of really getting around them reliably. Other than his own strength and body.
You lose.
Since we're fighting Super Turbo AI, you give it an inch,
Round
it takes the
3,
country.
Fight.
2 kicks, 5 attacks, dizzy. You thought this was going to be fun, didn't you?
You lose. Nine. Thailand.
It's that one dad from the Boondocks flashback where it's like, "Oh, did I catch you having fun?" and then it just slaps you. Did I just catch you trying to do something? Ooh. It won't die. It's immortal. That pixel of health might as well be an entire life bar.
Round 2, fight.
Not a fan. Not a fan of this situation. Yep, the only real thing it can do is leap for its life. I can't even reversal.
You lose.
Almost done. Almost done. Can't let the game get to me now.
Thailand.
Soon it will be over and I can play more fun games.
You win. Round 2, fight.
And there we go. 16 continues later, Super Turbo for the Sega Dreamcast, done. The Emperor of Evil. What nonsense. The true winner is the one with the more powerful fist. That is all. No, the true winner of Super Turbo is the one with the more powerful brain. In any case, that is Super Street Fighter 2 X. I feel like my opinion is warped based on the fact I've played the arcade mode of this game more than I've played actual people. When you play actual people in this game, the rush that comes from it is unparalleled. When you're playing the arcade mode of this game, it is the worst Street Fighter to date that makes Street Fighter 1 seem like a more fun alternative. So, my opinion is especially warped. but that's due to my own personal experience. Never been a pleasant one. Now let's play games that are actually more exciting and fair.